There we go. Hey, you guys can hear me? Is everybody here? Are we all good? All right. Hey, I'm Stephanie March. I'm the senior food editor at Minnesota's favorite magazine, Minneapolis.St. Paul Magazine. And I wanted to welcome you guys to Talkin Turkey. I'm very excited to be here. I hope you guys are excited too. I am filming in my kitchen because I felt that was super appropriate for today. So, and I'm super excited because Open Arms, of course, as you guys know, is the nonprofit that we love because they prepare medically nutritious meals for Minnesotans who are facing life-threatening illnesses. And what they did, this is so exciting, they asked for 5 all-star chefs in the Twin Cities if they would come on and answer your questions about Thanksgiving, and they all said yes. So that's just magical because, you know, quite honestly, these chefs are supporters of Open Arms, which is such a great thing because they do such critical work in the Twin Cities. I don't know if you know, but they started back in 1986 as a response to the AIDS epidemic. And, you know, that kind of makes you think that 35 years later, they obviously know what they're doing. And they obviously are here and answering such a huge response right now with the pandemic and with everything else going on in the world today. There's just a tremendous amount of need, and Open Arms, you know, it's there. They're stepping up and they know what to do. And that's why these chefs have agreed, I think, you know, to be a part of this because it's about nutrition, right? It's about really healing the body and healing the soul. And Open Arms, you know, they have 5 organic farms in the Twin Cities and they put up to 15,000 pounds of produce grown each season. And these vegetables and herbs, they're all put together to form these really great meals, you guys, that serves people with cancer, with HIV, with MS, ALS, and other life-threatening illnesses. This is really tough. And of course, right now, they are really helping people who are facing the difficulties that COVID-19 has really inflicted upon, you know, the elderly population. And for many people who already had, you know, very many, you know, had a lot of problems and health issues. And this is what they're doing. They are really helping to feed people. And it's just incredible. No cost. And that's the thing. These meals are free from Open Arms. So I love that about those guys. I love that their philosophy is food is medicine. And I think that is something that we all can really, really identify with, especially, you know, in these weeks where we think about gathering with other people and we think about how we're not going to be able to do that necessarily in the way that we might want to. And so I think, you know, if we think about cooking for ourselves and how that is such a good way to heal the soul, I'm excited about that. You know, they're busier every week, you guys. And these guys, Open Arms is doing such great stuff. They have 1,500 clients that receive prepared meals in the state of the art of the kitchen that they make. And this is the most clients that they have had in their 34-year history. So I do want to tip it before we get into all the chef talk and before we get into all the cooking and all the fun stuff. I do want to tip it to the Open Arms CEO, Leah Herbert Wells, and she's going to update us about what's going on inside of Open Arms.
Thank you. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for doing this. And I'm good. I am not in my kitchen because if I was in my kitchen, you could hear my kids and my dogs. So I am secluded in my house so that you can't hear any of those things.
That's the way it goes.
That is the way it goes. Well, I just want to thank you. Thanks for hosting. Thanks to our chefs. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We feel really fortunate to be able to have these kind of events from our spare bedrooms and our kitchen. November is a super special time for Open Arms. We actually call it Yes-vember around our joint because we really believe that we want to say yes to as many people as we possibly can. And that's what it's about for us. So during this month, we are going to continue our regular meal service to our clients, but we are at record levels, as you already mentioned. And as we do each year, we are sending Thanksgiving dinners to every single client who requests one. I think we're sending out almost 1,900 Thanksgiving meals this week. It's crazy. And the numbers are super impressive. So in our kitchen, with the help of our volunteers, our chefs are putting together 2,500 pounds of turkey, 120 gallons of gravy, 120 gallons of cranberries, and 7,500 dinner rolls, which I'm super glad I don't have to make.
Oh God.
I know. Plus every Thanksgiving meal for our clients comes with a pie. So, which is really awesome. Yeah. And we are at record levels. So every $60 that people donate helps support a Thanksgiving dinner for a family of one of our clients who is living with a life-threatening illness. And we are trying to raise over $100,000 to be able to do that. So that's part of what we're doing tonight. But of course, that's not everything we're doing. But we are really, really appreciative of all of the support that comes in. We had a match from Cargill today up to $12,000. And of course, it's Give to the Max Day. So there's lots of ways to support Open Arms. So there's a link in the chat box, I think, if people want to make a donation. Of course, it's free to watch and free to talk to the chefs tonight. But if they want to make a donation, there's a link in the chat box if you're live. And otherwise, of course, you can always go on our website. And there's lots of information there. So in recent months, we've opened our arms wider. We're also delivering to people who are COVID positive in Hennepin and Ramsey County, and we're shipping across the state. So we've got a lot going on.
You know, and I know there's plenty of ways that people can help your mission, right? I mean, it's not just one way. There's plenty of stuff you guys can do.
That's right. And actually, in a lot of ways, we really, really would love volunteer help as well. So we don't want anyone to come out and volunteer if they're not feeling well, if they're worried about underlying health conditions. But if you're healthy and you're feeling good and you're able to help us, we would love for people to volunteer. Right now, it's delivering to clients, which is contactless delivery, or working in our kitchen. In the summer, of course, we have people at our urban farms, which is super fun. Can't do that right now, but if you go to openarmsmn.org, there's lots of different opportunities. So I just want to thank, before, I know people are anxious to talk to the chefs, anxious to talk about turkey. I just want to thank all the chefs who are giving their time tonight, Justin, Jamie, Anne, and Gavin. We are super, super grateful for people taking their time out of their busy schedule. We know this is a really critical time for restaurants and for chefs. And we just feel really, really thankful and blessed that you would take time out of your busy schedule and help us. So on behalf of all of our staff and our 6,000 volunteers and all of our clients, we want to wish you all a happy, healthy Thanksgiving. And thanks for all your support.
That's awesome. Thank you, Leah, so much. That's
Absolutely
awesome. Okay, remember, you guys, if you are able to make a donation, check out the link in the chat to see how you can support this organization, because really there's so many different ways you can do this, and it's just kind of, it's good to get creative and it's good to think about things. So while you're checking out the chat box, think about your cooking questions, and we'll see if we can't get those all queued up. But first, we have to do, we have to intro. We have to get to the chefs. We have to get everybody online. So tonight's event, you guys, is going to be really informal and fun. I'm going to say, hey, kids, chefs, unmute yourselves and take your cameras to the live. Let's see who we got. Do we got them all here? Oh, it's time. It's time to come on and see what's going on. Oh, there's Anne.
Hello.
Okay, hi. How's it going?
Good,
Okay, wait, I have to change my view to gallery view. There we go. Now I see everybody. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to introduce everybody. You guys got to throw your hands up in a wave when I say your name. First of all, I'm going to say welcome to the man who has a better sneaker closet than any of us here, Mr. Justin Sutherland. Woo!
Hey guys.
And hug and all that. And then I want to introduce the woman who has a better fur coat game than me, and maybe the only one with a better fur coat game, Jamie Malone from Grand Cafe. Yay! And then I want to introduce the woman who I have seen do Gangnam Style karaoke like a boss. That's Miss Ann Kim right there. I tell you what,
Wow.
we have Baker Extraordinaire, whose starter is in my fridge as we speak. We have Ann Andrus from Honey and Rye. There we go. And finally, we have the man who has taken his grandmother's pot roast recipe and made a career out of it. We have Spoon and Stable's Gavin Cason. That's how we have it. So excited. Thanks for joining, you guys. You excited?
I'm excited.
Very excited.
Absolutely.
Okay. So before we get to, I'm going to give you guys, we're all going to go through some one-on-ones and we're going to talk about, people have asked actual Thanksgiving questions to put you on the spot. But before that, I kind of want to know a personal thing here. What is your one must-have for you personally on the Thanksgiving table? So Justin, why don't you start?
I'm a green bean casserole guy. I
Ooh.
love it. It's something about those French's fried onions. I don't know.
Really? You have to go
Kinda
old
like my-
school, or do you do like a twist?
I mean, one year I tried to make it from scratch. I did fresh green beans, made my own cream mushroom soup, did some crispy shallots and everything. And that was the last time. I was like, nope, give me the can of Campbell's, give me the tin of French's, and let's keep it how it was supposed to be.
I love that. I love that. Anne, what's yours? Ann Andrus, what's your go-to on the kit? You have to have it.
It's got to be gravy on everything.
Gravy on everything?
Gravy.
You're a
Great
super? Like you soup everything? Like you sink that plate?
I don't mind it all just kind of combining as one whole unit of covered in gravy.
That's pretty good. Do you have to sop it up with bread though? I mean, being the baker.
Definitely. Yeah, we've got our dollar buns. Got to have those on the side.
God, I love it. That's perfect. All right, Gavin, what do you think? What's your favorite? What's the must-have on your table?
I just want the skin.
You just
That's it. I don't want anything else. All I want is crispy turkey skin. You can have everything else.
That's pretty good. Do you have to fight people for it? Do you have to fight your wife for the skin or anything? Like,
Oh, I have a knife. I win. It's no longer a competition.
no,
I
it's
have the knife and I get to cook the turkey. We're doing turkey at my parents' house.
Mhm.
And I'll make everything, and my dad will make everything as well, just for the smell to be in his home.
Oh, nice.
It's not a good scene.
That's real competition, my friend. Seriously.
I know.
Okay, Jamie, what's on your table that's a must?
My mom makes a 7-layer salad, and she served it in the exact same bowl for since I was born. So
Oh my
not only the salad, but it has to be in that bowl. I don't know.
Yes. Oh my God. God forbid someone drop that bowl. I mean, seriously. What's in your 7-layer salad? Is there anything special or is it just your basic Midwestern?
Basic Midwestern, it has to be Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise.
Oh,
Kind of what Justin was saying, the shittier the better.
The better.
I super love that, man. Although I can't abide the Miracle Whip. I just can't do it.
Not that anything my mom makes is shitty.
No. Oh God, you're in trouble. So in trouble. All right, Anne, Ms. Ann Kim, what is on your table?
I have to have my Uncle John's stuffing, but it's
Oh.
really not stuffing. It's more like liver pate. It's like a pound of chicken livers and a bag of Pepperidge Farm herbed bread mix, apples, celery, and onion, and herb seasoning or poultry seasoning, and mix it together. And it doesn't look very good, but you bake it, and it is every Thanksgiving. That's what we have, and I love
kind of
it.
super dare you to Instagram that because that's got to be real brown. You know what I mean? That's got to be not.
Well, like Jamie said, the shittier the better. It kind of does look like that, but it tastes delicious.
But it tastes delicious, and that's really the only thing. I tell you what. Well, for me, it's definitely cream corn, and that is a thing that it's not that it's like I like it one time a year, and then I make it for the crew, and so that has to be on the table. That's kind of the no rules, no bar. And I basically stole the recipe from Ocean Air a million years ago, so it's kind of their same cream corn, but yet I kind of throw a few more. I throw bacon in it if that's okay, which of course it is, right? All right, you guys. Well, thank you again so much for being here. I think this is such an awesome thing that you guys are doing and supporting this organization. And I think we're going to go and we're going to just kind of hit some one-on-ones to kind of get a little bit of time with each of you and talk a little bit about what's going on in your personal Thanksgiving. And we're going to ask some of the questions that people have been asking of you guys. So we're going to start with Mr. Justin Sutherland. I'm looking for my questions here from them. Let's talk a little bit about what is your Thanksgiving Day tradition in terms of what do you personally do for Thanksgiving?
I mean, honestly, Thanksgiving I kind of take as my day off. I think it's amateur day for cooks in my world. So I wear sweatpants. I watch football. I orchestrate from afar. I'll give slight instruction from the couch, but I let the family do the cooking on Thanksgiving.
I think that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. Like it is supposed to be like the moms and the aunties and even like the uncles.
Right.
You're the ones who are kind of like they own that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And quite honestly, I mean, they do it better than I could anyway. They don't want my chefy shit on Thanksgiving. I want the traditional stuff.
Which has kind of been proven by our chat just then. Everyone's like, basic is best. Stop messing with my stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. Obviously, the big bummer news is that our restaurants are not going to be open for Thanksgiving, and that's a really tough thing to have to deal with.
Yes,
And
huge. It's hard.
It's really rough. And are you guys still doing like takeout meals or anything for that?
We're not. The last years we've done the Thanksgiving to goes. Just with everything that's happened this year, I just wanted to give my staff some time. So we need the extra stress of packaging meals and doing all that. So we're going to be closed. I'm going to let everybody, go back to their COVID quarantine bubbles with however big that family unit can be, and just take some time to relax.
Right. And then are you going to be doing takeout after the holiday or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. We'll be doing delivery. We're actually looking into doing some in-house delivery right now. I'm talking to our insurance to figure out what it's going to take to get our own drivers insured. So maybe we can cut some of these 30% monsters out of the mix and keep some of my staff employed. So hopefully we'll be doing some in-house delivery, but yeah, we'll be doing curbside takeout and delivery.
I love that. I love that idea. I'm all for it. Whatever I can do. Okay, here's your question from the most common question asked. I'm going to tee it up right for you. Is a question about wet brine or dry brine. What should you do? What is your opinion is the best way to prepare a turkey? Should you wet brine it or dry brine it?
I always go with the wet brine. I think dry brine I think is good for more on curing of things. But when it comes to poultry, I always like the wet brine.
Yeah.
I think it keeps it moister. It doesn't draw as much of the moisture out. A lot of times when you coat that salt and everything on there, the idea is to be pulling moisture out and replacing it with that salty flavor versus the wet brine where you're, infusing the sugar and the salt and whatever flavors are in there. So I'm a wet when it comes to poultry.
Okay. And then are you like big on the smoking of the turkey since you have such a smoky situation going on normally? We've talked about brisket, but do you ever smoke or have you ever deep fried a turkey?
Deep fry, 100%. That is my favorite. Hands down. We're a big deep frying, especially when my grandpa was still with us. We would deep fry the turkeys every year. I love it. I love, like Gavin said, I think deep fried turkey, the skin is the absolute best.
It's kind of the bomb.
Smoking, I'm not a huge smoked turkey guy. I think, it can be done really well, but in all of my experience, it always ends up a little too dry and a little too smoky.
It's too hard. It's too risky when it's the whole meal.
So.
Okay, here's one more question.
Fry that bird.
Here's one more question for me is like your Japanese grandmother, do you have any like influences on the Thanksgiving meal at all? I mean, do you ever get any like, I don't know, sake
we do too.
Or?
I mean, well, I'll do a sake. I don't need Thanksgiving to do a sake bomb stuff. Come on, that.
Right.
With my parents we have two different Thanksgiving. We do a very, very traditional Thanksgiving on my dad's side with a lot of my grandma's old school Southern recipes, her dressing and everything. And then on my mom's side with my Japanese grandmother, we've actually converted to kind of the anti-Thanksgiving. We do like a potluck where either everybody brings something completely non-Thanksgiving related. We'll do Chinese food. One year we did king crab legs. One year we just did, everybody bring their own appetizers. So on that side of the family, it's no Thanksgiving food whatsoever.
I like that. If I could have sushi for Thanksgiving, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Just saying.
Grandma makes sushi every Thanksgiving. When we do the potluck, that's what Grandma Masako brings is sushi.
I know it. I love it. Okay. So is there anything else you want us to know about Thanksgiving or about Handsome Hog and what's going on before we cut you loose?
Not much. I want everybody to enjoy the time, as much as they can with their families for Thanksgiving and support the restaurants out there because we definitely need it. A lot of people are hurting. So appreciate everybody's support for Open Arms and everybody's support for restaurants.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. Well, we have some more exciting news. Justin and all the chefs joining tonight. You guys are teamed up with Open Arms to create a 2021 calendar. It's a recipe calendar. And just so you know, Justin is Mr. May I don't know what kind of, outfit you were sporting for that, pal, but his recipe for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich which is on the menu at Handsome Hog, is on that calendar. So you gotta pony up for that thing. All right. And also P.S. he's got a TV show coming. Don't forget that part. We forgot to pimp that.
True.
You do. When
February
is that gonna air?
February 4th, 10:30 p.m. on True TV.
Okay.
No, I guess 9:30 in the Midwest. But yep, February 4th.
Okay, I love it. We're gonna stay tuned for that. All right, you guys, we're queuing up our next chef, Ms. Jamie Malone. There's a question before we get to, actually, someone has asked a question why my KitchenAid is wearing a fedora. The answer is why wouldn't it be? Honestly, there's a lot of things in my kitchen. If you guys hung out, you'd see some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's talk to Jamie Malone. Let's get this Miss Ma'am on the line. Are you up there, Lady Pants? There you are.
Hi.
Yay, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, you are so good. Let me be clear that your recipe calendar recipe is roast carrots with carrot butter. And you're,
I think.
It is? Okay.
I think
Well,
so.
there that is. See
Maybe
how,
I did roast. I don't know. That was a
yeah,
couple
I mean, right?
months, I remember.
Who knows? When was that? Okay, I kind of want to know about your Thanksgiving besides 7-layer salad. Give us the sitch. Like, how is that all queued up for you?
Well, the Thanksgiving in my family has been held at my Auntie Anne's house in St. Paul since before I was born. So I think it's been almost 55 years they've had it.
God.
Same house, same tables, same seating. Everything is exactly the same. And I'm the youngest by 10 years. And it's just this big Irish Catholic family. And it's, there's just a lot of comfort in that kind of tradition. It's the most beautiful day.
It is so wonderful. So, I mean, and is turkey kind of your centerpiece, or is it like, do you do hams and other stuff too, or?
Nope, really traditional. Turkey is the centerpiece. Yep,
Okay.
my Auntie Anne makes it every year. My cousin Katie carves it. Like, I'm telling you, nothing changes. If you want to get moved up on the list of what you get to bring, and this includes me,
Yeah.
Someone has to die. So,
You kidding? Wait a
oh,
minute.
no, I was Jello mold for until last year. Yeah, nothing changed.
So you got promoted to what? What'd you get promoted to?
Well, my first promotion was about maybe 12 years ago. And I had been in culinary school, graduated, working as a cook, and I finally got promoted to pumpkin pie. And because I think one of my other aunties was having surgery or something. So it's like, okay, you can do the pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And working as a cook, you're working all the time, and you're used to being like, okay, it's 2 a.m. I'll do this in the morning, or you're always scrambling.
Yeah.
And I forgot that grocery stores would be closed, and I didn't have time to buy all the ingredients to make my pumpkin pie. And so I am scrambling and had to go to Baker's Square on the way to my Auntie Anne's to pick up pie. And it was that scenario where I walked in the door and everyone was like, oh, the chef brought pie, made a huge deal out of it.
Uh-huh.
And so it was that split second where I could have told this really awkward story about why I didn't actually make it, or just nod and smile and pass it over. So I just nodded and smiled and passed it over.
Dude, fake it till you make it.
No. So then it's time for pie.
Yeah.
And true to form, only my little cousins or the little kids in the family are the ones that get to serve the pie. Well, the bottom of a Baker Square tin says Baker Square. So, nobody said a word. Just next year, I was back to fruit Jello mold.
Here's the question though: is there a committee that decides? Is there are they having secret meetings in July and be like, don't forget about the Jamie situation with the pie?
No, it's all my Auntie Anne. It's just you just do what she says.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. So you're not on Jello molds anymore? Are you still on Jello?
Nope. I moved up to sweet potatoes.
Oh, okay. And did they give you the recipe? You have to do this?
Nope. It was actually a new dish added to our repertoire just for me.
Okay.
Now somewhat proven myself. So yeah, it's a whole new dish to the repertoire.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's get to Grand Cafe because I mean, honestly, and East Side, or we'll call it Wood Fired Pizza Joint or whatever we want to do. But let's talk a little bit about Grand Cafe and what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving.
We're doing a duck cassoulet this year.
Oh, this is like maybe my favorite move. I swear to God. Like if I didn't have to make a turkey for turkey sandwiches, I would for sure be on the duck cassoulet situation. So
a few years ago, I was reading this old cookbook by Julia Child, and she serves sweet and sour cabbage with her duck cassoulet. So I've always done that. And so it's like the substitute for the cranberry. And it just kind of feels okay. I'm a traditionalist, but it feels okay.
I'm super down with that, man. That is good. Okay, so and Wood Fired Pizza that you're doing out of East Side, are you still doing just pickup for that delivery or?
Deliveries Fridays and Saturdays, and we'll expand, like kind of same as what Justin said, just trying to create jobs for the people that we've had to furlough with these new changes.
Yep.
So hopefully Thursdays by next week we can do delivery.
Excellent. This is exciting. That's great. All right. Okay, here's some questions from the attendees. They want to know your opinion on what's the best way to keep turkey moist.
Well, definitely a wet brine, as Justin said, and probably will all say, is the number one thing to do. The other thing I do is I interval cook every big piece of meat and small, pretty much, that we cook in the restaurant and at home. So instead of a long rest period at the end of cooking, I introduce several rest periods throughout cooking. Because as temperature in meat falls, it kind of allows the moisture to redistribute through all the flesh. Yeah. And so it's a good opportunity. I don't baste, but it's a good opportunity to brush. So I brush with a brown butter that can be seasoned with anything you want, a little smoked oil, some roast garlic, some rosemary, just butter, salt, maybe a little sugar. But every time you brush it, because all those juices are starting to move around again, it's almost like a little vacuum and it pulls everything right into the meat. So,
ooh, this is good. That's good intel. That's good intel. Okay, somebody wants to know what your favorite post-Thanksgiving leftover recipe is. Like, what do you do for leftovers after the feast?
Oh, I think a stuffing sandwich with just some shaved raw onions and like weird crappy rolls.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, lady. And just so you guys know, I just wanted to plug the fact that besides your Baker Square situation, I would say, I don't even know, does Baker Square still exist? I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that Open Arms has pies for sale on their website. That's pumpkin and Dutch apple, and the proceeds benefit, obviously, Open Arms providing meals to their clients. So if you're in a pinch, man, maybe don't go to Baker Square this year if you need to. All right. Is there anything else you want us to let us know before we cut you loose?
I toured Open Arms with Seth Bixby Doherty a couple years ago, and you already outlined it, but I just want to reiterate what they do is so amazing. And not only do they cook and use food as medicine, but for every different medical thing that people may be going through, they create different meals, they modify meals to accommodate those health needs. And so as a cook, I'm looking at what they're doing, and it's like I get 2 orders with modifications and I'm like, my brain dead. And they have like walk-in coolers. It's this person has this need and this need. What they're doing is obviously beyond generous, but really forward thinking and just really smart and unlike anything I've seen. So
awesome. That's beautiful. Thanks, Jamie. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for being here today. All right, you guys, we are going to switch next to our next chef, which is Ms. Ann Kim. Please come to the center. Please join the chat. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Besides everything's great.
I don't know. I probably need, is that vinegar or alcohol by your mixer?
Well, there's a lot of things over there. If you wanted to, I have a few things. Although, yeah, there's a lot of things over here. Although I'm going to show you, this is what I'm drinking, which is this Etiquette whiskey from J. Carver that they are just launching. It's the single malt. Babe, that stuff is smooth. I got to tell you.
Make a note.
I'm going to put that in the mail for you. How about that?
I like it.
I think I owe you one. All right, we have, let's talk about this. Your recipe in the calendar, by the way, is roasted cauliflower, the same stuff from Pizza Lola, which, I mean, I'm sorry, did you just turn 10?
Yeah, we just
just knocked
celebrated
the
10
decade?
years this Monday. Incredible. Goes by fast.
That's unreal, man. I think that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I know. I get younger, but the restaurants
do.
get older.
You just don't age at all. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we want to know. We want to know what your Thanksgiving is like.
Well, you know, this may come as a surprise, but I've actually never hosted a Thanksgiving, and I've actually never made a turkey. That's not something that my family wants me to do. I think kind of like Jamie and Justin, that Thanksgiving is for the rest of the family traditions. And our first Thanksgiving was actually at my uncle's mother's house, Mimi, but she was pretty much our grandmother. And all of our Western traditions came from his side of the family. So our first Thanksgiving was at their house, our first Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve was always lobster bisque. And so when they passed, my parents kind of took it over with a little bit of Korean fusion. But yeah, it's always sort of the same stuff every year. And that's, to me, that's what makes it really special.
And then do you have to bring, are you assigned a thing to bring, or can you bring something, or are you not allowed to do anything?
You know, they always welcome something. I'm usually stuck to the appetizers because that's not something my parents eat a lot of. So I like to bring a bunch of different cheeses and dips and things like that. So they like to take care of most of it. I mean, my mother is a typical Korean mother. She gives direction in the kitchen. So
I was waiting to see what you were going to say with that. Yeah. Suggestions? Is that it? Like very good, hard suggestions?
Yes. Hard suggestions.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about, I mean, you obviously have Pizza Lola, like we talked about. You have Hello Pizza still. And of course, our favorite young Joni. And then you have Suki and Mimi, which is in the works. Is it still, are you going to give us a tip? Are you going to say 2021, kind of a situation?
And it seems like it's been a moving target for us. We are aiming for 2020, but now with, I mean, that was the plan, but now with the shutdowns for the dining rooms, that probably will change because we were planning on opening the dining room. All three restaurants basically were doing takeout. We did not open any of the dining rooms, but with the new restaurant, we really wanted to do that. But the intention is still to do that when we can open up the dining rooms, but we'll definitely do takeout as well from the restaurant.
Good. Okay. And so your young Joni, your Thanksgiving meal kits, those are already gone, right? I mean, like those sold out, or?
Yeah, those went fast, and we've never done anything like that before, but like everybody else, we're just trying to figure out ways to keep staff employed and keep extra revenue generating. And so we decided, maybe people are sick of cooking, so let's create some Thanksgiving sides. And they sold out like in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
we could have done more. We just don't have capacity.
Right. No, I mean, and that's the thing, is the bandwidth is important to maintain across all things, because you've got a lot of irons going in the fire.
Yeah, certainly do.
Certainly do. Okay, here's a question. Somebody wants to know if you have any tips for downsizing a traditional meal, but keeping all the feels. If they're going from 10 people that they normally cook for or eat with down to 2, is there any sort of advice you can give them?
Yeah, well, for us this year, it's just going to be 2. It's just going to be me and my husband, Conrad. I actually don't know what we're going to do. I thought about actually getting a turkey and doing all of that because I've never done that for myself. But then again, I might just do something completely different. I think it's an opportunity to maybe steer away from tradition. And especially for those people that it could be a pretty sad time, because I know a lot of us are making the difficult decision not to get together with family or with grandparents who are higher at risk, and it might bring some feelings. So I think it's an opportunity to maybe do something different and have ribs or stick a lasagna in the oven, or have caviar and champagne. Who cares, right?
Right.
Do what you want. Do what you want.
Dude, there are no rules left in
Feel
21.
good.
Yeah, do what feels good. I love that. That's good. All right, here's another question for you. What is your favorite hearty vegetarian Thanksgiving main dish that does not include the word tofurky?
Oh boy. Okay. Well, this is like my second favorite must-have for our family Thanksgiving, and it's my grandma Mimi's dish, and it's called In the Pink Salad. It's not really a salad; it's a Jello mold.
Yes.
And it's basically, sour cream and Jello and canned pineapple and canned cherries and pecans. And I don't know, something about that texture and the tartness and the tanginess just go so well with the turkey and all the savory things. So it's vegetarian. I mean, I guess it's hearty.
You could have the main if you need to. Like you could. You 100% could. All right, here's a question, since you're the appetizer queen normally. Here's a question from someone. Pickle roll-ups, acceptable or culinary crime?
Oh, totally acceptable.
Yeah, hello. Who's even asking that?
Yeah.
I eat that every other day.
On Thanksgiving, everything is acceptable. You get a pass.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that. Okay. Well, that is wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Lady Pants. And hopefully is there anything else you want to tell us about before we cut you loose about what's going on in your world or anything?
No, I just, like everyone else, it's been a challenging time, but we really appreciate everybody's support. Everybody has been so kind and generous and ordering takeout. We're a very resilient crew, the restaurant industry, but it is very challenging. So whatever you can do to do takeout and support your local restaurant, and you can stay out of the kitchen. And also, like Jamie said, Open Arms is an amazing organization. And I know a lot of people feel like, you might have lost your job or you don't have much, but I always find that when you feel like you lost something, I always feel better if I'm generous. So even if it's just $10 or whatever you can afford, it really makes a big difference if you multiply that by a lot of people. So they're doing amazing things. So please give.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you. Yes. Put more karma out in the world. Cheers to that. Seriously. Good stuff. All right, you guys, just a reminder that you can pre-order this Open Arms 2021 recipe calendar with everybody that I'm talking with tonight. And the link is going to be in the chat box. Don't forget, calendars are $20. That's just at $20. And you get to have these guys hanging on your wall pretty much, for the entire 2021 year. It's kind of lovely. Okay, we are going to go to our next chef, who is, of course, a baker extraordinaire. We've got Ms. Ann Andrus from Honey and Rye. We popping up?
Hi.
There you are. Oh, am I frozen? I'm okay, right?
No, I can see you.
You can see me. That's all that's important. Okay, good. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm all right.
You're okay. Okay, good. Okay, your calendar recipe, by the way, is a brown butter butterscotch meringue pie. Whoo!
It's a mouthful.
Oh, and you also have paella on the month of February, it says. Is that right?
Nope, that's definitely not.
Oh, you know what? I bet that was for Yia, right?
Probably, yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's on this. Who cares? Anyway, but of course, the brown butter butterscotch meringue pie, so marvelous. I mean, that's crazy. Pies are such a huge time right now. Are you asked to bring the pie all the time? Is that what you have to do?
Yeah, it's understood in my family that I'll show up with not one, but multiples, a variety.
A variety.
Yeah.
This is good, right? Yeah, you actually have to.
I do, and it's easiest for me because I'm always baking at the bakery anyway. So I'm like, it's easy if I can just whatever I can kind of scoop up and just head home with, and it's one less thing I have to do.
This is good. Yeah. That's the truth, because you guys are you sold out for all of your Thanksgiving stuff at Honey and Rye, or
not yet?
Okay.
I feel like I'm playing with fire a little bit, trying to see what our actual capacity is, but this is our busiest time of the year. So super grateful and thankful that we can be open and still taking orders. But yeah, it's hard to know exactly what capacity is, I feel like, until it's, you know, the night before pickups and I'm still at the bakery baking pies. I'm just like, okay, this was capacity.
This was it. This is the wall that I was
there.
Yeah. Like if you get any sleep, then you think, oh shoot, I could have put 6 more pies.
We could have pushed it a little.
Yeah, a little more. Well, tell us a little bit about like, what is your traditional Thanksgiving day like?
Yeah, much like Jamie, we're a big Irish Catholic family. So for immediate family, it's at my parents' house. There's 8 kids in my family. So now, you know, everybody's spouses and grandkids. So we're at like 25-ish. So my dad built a smokehouse and he usually smokes anywhere from 6 to 10 turkeys to make sure everyone has one to go home with.
Whoa.
And then on top of it, we always do one in the oven too. So of course,
he smokes, did you say 8 to 10 turkeys?
Somewhere in there. It depends on how many kids are going to be home. But yeah, 6 to 8, 6 to 10, depending on the year. Because we always like to bring one home for the carcass and make the soup. So I know Justin said deep fried is the way to go. But I'm on the smoked.
Yeah, I love it. I love it that you are. That's good. Yeah. So then everybody kind of hangs out and it's just a big family affair kind of a thing.
For sure. Yeah, we're like, you know, noon o'clock. Everybody, you know, eat to their heart's delight and then pass out on the couch, hang around, lay low. But it's fun.
Okay, here's a question. This is a personal question. Do you guys eat dinner and then immediately set the pie out? Or is it like you have dinner or, you know, whatever time, and then you just chill for a while and then the pie comes out? Is it right away or is there a pause?
I feel like I put it out so it's available, but generally it's more of a pause. It's more of a, we'll all, you know, hang out for a little bit, let it settle, and then come back for round 2.
Yeah. I don't get it how people like put it right on your plate. Like, I'm like, I still have stuffing that I'm going to pick at for another hour. And then they get, like, the pie goes down and I'm like, that's too much pressure. I'm not ready for that. So,
and especially when you want like a slice of this one, maybe a slice of that one. It's like, it's almost a second meal.
Yeah. I need to absolutely get up and move around for like 20 minutes.
Work it off.
I need the pie space to move in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's some questions from listeners, and this is a really big one, and this is important, and I'm going to be paying attention. Which is better to use for pies, lard or butter?
I anticipated this.
Yeah.
There's something going on, right? And I'm so butter. I'm butter everything, butter all the time. And I of course support the lard, but everything we use in the bakery is all butter. Yeah. It's what I grew up using. So that's the way I lean. But, you know, I know it's a lot of people use a combination or a mix or a blend. But I'm true to, I just feel like for me, it's whether it's the flavor and texture, you know, that I get from it.
Yeah. Do you want to know what I think it is?
What?
Here's the deal. I think everybody ordered their meat boxes this year from the local farms, like Weicker Acres. I have an entire can, like a half gallon, I think, of lard because I ordered, you know, the meat box from Weicker Acre Farm, which was amazing. But I basically had to stick it in the freezer and was like, well, I guess I got to make pies. Like, yeah. I don't know.
It's a great thing to use it for. I mean, it is for sure. I think that's a very good point to say, if you've got it, that's a good use for it. The perfect use for it.
I think so too. I'm going to try it. I'm going to let you know how my Okay, we want to know this. This is another thing we want to know. What new or trending ingredient are you most wanting to experiment with next?
Oh gosh. I'm usually not on the trending. That's not where I fall. I'm like more classic, but one of the more recent things that sparked me, I think it's I don't know if it's a combination of like the slight boozy baking.
Yes.
Which is very, that's very big. That's not, I wouldn't say, not new, but definitely maybe trending. But I was talking recently about a grasshopper pie for Christmas.
Oh.
And the little creme de menthe and, the chocolate mint combo. I thought that might be a fun one to try.
Oh, that's good. You know, as bartenders, we hated making grasshoppers, but I would eat it in pie.
But
Like,
pie version, yeah.
I would totally do that for sure. All right, so Honey and Rye, tell us a little bit about what you guys, you know, I mean, you guys had a place in the Grays building, but that is done.
Yep.
And so now, but your St. Louis Park is your kind of your home base.
Yep.
Anything else going on there that we should know about?
No, I mean, just, you know, right now is our crazy time. And it's, like I said, still taking orders for holidays. So excited about that. And we'll have some fun new things coming up for December, Christmas holiday times. And then, yeah, I think for us, big thing is like thinking about us January, February, March. Those are our struggle months. So any special celebrations, we do cakes and things like that, or, you know, buying your bread from us and not the grocery store.
And
So, yeah.
do you guys still have sandwiches and soups that you can come pick up from you too?
We do sandwiches. Yeah, soups are off for right now, but we do have kind of grab and go sandwiches and breakfast sandwiches also.
Oh, good. Those
Yeah,
are good. Are you still doing pretzels? Are you still making pretzels?
We paused those also. We brought them back for State Fair for that time being, the jumbos. But right now they're on hold. But yeah, that's another one that will be back someday.
Okay. There's one more question that I want to make sure they ask. Someone asked if you think is flavored butter thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh. No, I think I want to say like compound butter, if you're making yourself, absolutely. Yeah. Jazz it up. Why not?
I think so.
I mean, I feel like I'm thinking salted or unsalted, but
yeah, I know.
You know,
I don't know what they mean by that necessarily, but I think compound butter is, would you ever bake with a compound butter? Does that make any sense or does that not?
I don't see why not. I mean, I feel like it could be a way to get some subtle flavors in, depending on what it is, but also slathering it on those butters and, you know, biscuits and croissants and
just eat it. I'm sorry. Do you have a cracker? Then you have a vehicle for butter. Then you're good. That's how kind of I feel about that. Okay. So is there anything else you want us to let us know before we cut you loose about Honey and Rye or what you got going on or Open Arms?
No, I think just excited about Open Arms. I had a chance to volunteer there too with a group that I was in. And so it was really neat to be in the space and just see what amazing work they do on a regular daily basis, and feeling very humbled right now because when they were talking about how many buns and pies they're making, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not complaining. They've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah. What was it, like 7 million buns or something?
That's a lot of buns. Yeah.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anne, for being here. Really appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
All right. Well, we have one more chef, and I told him since he was the last chef that he could have some walk-up music. So let's see if you can hear this. That's right. We've got it.
That's my jam right there.
It's my Spotify. Woo! All right, Gavin Cason to the front. All right, my speaker turned off accidentally.
I feel like everybody should walk up to Eye of the Tiger.
Don't you think so? I think my walk-up music is Xanadu by ELO. Is that wrong?
Okay. No, it's okay. Everybody needs walk-up music. It's like the Twins players get walk-up music. Why can't we have walk-up music when we walk into our restaurants?
I have this little new speaker that's got like a carabiner clip on it. That's your jam right there. You just cue it up and you walk.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it. That's your Christmas present from me.
Done.
Okay. Your recipe is the paella on the calendar. I'm not doing paella.
Yeah, she's like, I'm pretty sure I made some sweet bread, not paella, but it's okay.
That's good. Okay, you kind of already tipped us a little bit about your Thanksgiving, but tell us, is it always at your parents' house, or is it? I mean, you used to live in Europe for a while. Did you miss Thanksgiving then? Because there's no way that you were doing it in Switzerland, you know?
No, I never did Thanksgiving when I lived over there. It was always super weird too, because it's just Thursday. So it's not really like, there's no stoppage of anything.
No.
And then what was also weird is when I ran a restaurant in Canada, the Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. So I'd have to like set up the menu for the Canadian Thanksgiving first for the team in Toronto, and then sort of see like what worked there. And then I would do crossover for the restaurants in Palm Beach and New York City when I was in charge of all those. So that also kind of threw me for a loop. But for us, we typically go to my parents' house. My mom is an incredible sort of designer and decorator of all things. And so you come into her house and it's like a showroom. And my dad, bless his heart, he tries to cook the bird and it's not good, but it's okay. I'm there for him. I'm there to pull out the white truffles and throw it on a little potato gratin and just make things happen. But it's nice. I mean, it's really, it's a really good time of year. I love Thanksgiving because it is a holiday that requires no gifts. It's a holiday that requires being with each other and really finding like what is the point of family restoration, being with one another and all that. And I find that to be, the more times I experience Thanksgiving, I find it to be more inspiring.
That's amazing. And that's, there's something about, to me, by the way, I think a dry, like a bad turkey is kind of forgivable when you have all the really good sides around it, right? Like you can just sort of, and that's a good way to have good relations with your dad too.
Yeah. Or if you have like 4.5 gallons of gravy, like it's good.
Right.
I mean, Clark Griswold made turkey and it was good with enough gravy.
With enough gravy, it's all you need. Hey, someone wants to know if you can share the story of the Caesar salad your mom made with you.
Wow, that's
someone who knows you.
That's pulling out the guns right there. I don't know if I'm ready to get into a fight with my mom just yet. But so she's not the most gifted cook on the planet, and that's okay. But she was making Caesar salad for some family. And she was cleaning the sink with the Comet.
Oh yeah.
Powder, okay. And the Comet powder jar looks exactly like the pre-grated Parmesan, right? So she's going to mix it all up, and she throws some of that Parmesan on before the dressing and everything else. And then she sees like the powder of blue come up from Comet, and she calls me. And she's like, "What do I do?" I put Comet all over the lettuce creams. I'm like, "It's all good, Mom. Just wash it. It's bleach." Like. You know what, like it's all for family, right? Like if something goes wrong, we know because the funeral invitation comes. Now that was a joke. And so she washed it and she served it and everybody's good. We all made it through.
It was very clean. It was the cleanest salad you've ever had, basically.
Very, very clean.
Pristine, almost clean eating. Oh my God. Okay, here's another question from somebody. What could you use inside the turkey if you don't use stuffing? Does your dad stuff the turkey or is it dressing on the side?
He stuffs it. I like to put a lot of herbs inside, whole lemons, whole garlic, whole shallots, things like that. That's usually what I like to put in a bird.
Yeah, I know. That's it. I don't think I have ever stuffed a turkey and cooked it with the stuffing in. I just didn't grow up doing that. So I have never.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I fully as a chef, I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
Like if I put on my chef hat, it doesn't actually make any sense to what you're doing.
Right.
But it's okay.
It kind of, and the whole stuffing thing, I think it's had its like, hills and valleys where it's like so cool to do it. And then it was like, no, don't do it because you're going to kill everybody. And then for years now, everyone's like, no, you're fine. Go ahead and do it. It's
exactly.
It's back and forth. Very bizarre. Okay, here's a good question. Oh, this crew has rabbit for dinner. Do you have any favorite recipes or suggestions to make it for Thanksgiving?
Wow. Well, okay. So if it's like a wild rabbit, and you could make a really classic French dish called civet. It's Civet. The first time I ate it, actually, I was at this restaurant right here. I was at Paul Bocuse.
Oh God.
And it's the first time that I had it, and he does the whole rabbit civet, and you basically like make this incredible sauce, and then you thicken the sauce with the blood. Actually, it's remarkable. But otherwise, if you can't do that, I would take the legs. I would probably cure them and confit them, and then I would make like a roulade out of the rabbit tenderloin and loin and stuff it with some Swiss chard and ricotta and a lot of lemon, and then cook it.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of rabbit. I'm all for that.
Me too.
Okay, here's another question. We are thinking of doing all sides for our dinner. Can you provide some ideas for how to balance that out? How to balance out the meal?
Well, you could buy what Ann Kim was selling, but she sold out.
That's right.
You can't do that.
No.
We sold out too. Everybody sold out at Thanksgiving. I guess the question is if you want to do traditional sides, but I always love like potato gratin, and I like to like layer it with sweet potatoes, celery root, regular potatoes, a little bit of heavy cream. My secret to gratin, especially when I add sweet potatoes, is that I add a little bit of coconut milk. So I'll do a little bit of cream and a little bit of milk, but I love to add a little bit of coconut milk because it kind of thins it out a little bit, doesn't make it so rich.
Yeah.
So I love that dish. I love Brussels sprouts with kimchi and scallions and things like that. While that's not necessarily traditional, it's absolutely delicious.
Oh,
I did that one year for my parents for Thanksgiving.
yeah.
And like Jamie's story, if I could have gotten booted the next year, that would have been the dish that got me kicked out. Like my mom looked at me and she's like, "You can pack your knives and go." Those are terrible.
Those are terrible. Seriously, that should have been the thing that we asked too, is like, what is your giant fail for Thanksgiving? I will tell you that I used to live in a house with a wood, a wood burning oven, like a pizza oven in it. And we cooked the turkey in it and it was great. And then I had done all of the, some potatoes and sweet potatoes in a glass dish. And I thought, oh, I'll just stick it in there and warm it up a little bit. And that's not good it just shattered. There was just basically glass shrapnel embedded in a turkey that I had just spent hours like wood fire smoking and everything. And so
I did a demo the other night, on a Zoom demo the other night, and I was going to finish it in this like porcelain dish that I thought would work. And it just seemed like it would break. So I took a poll to everybody and they're like, yeah, don't put that in the oven. And of course I have no idea. So then I grabbed like a big sheet pan and I'm like, now you're just going to eat this off a sheet pan.
Yeah, that's it. Too bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question that is about turducken. What are your thoughts on turducken?
Not my jam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, listen, it's a ton of work to do something that is basically a galantine. And I love traditional French cooking. So I'm all for the idea of it. But if it is for gluttony, then it's like, I don't know. I mean, I would rather take like a whole duck, and I would rather roast the whole duck and eat that, and then maybe make chicken noodle soup out of the whole chicken, and then cook the turkey breast sous vide and confit the legs and have some Sammys the next day.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I would rather actually, instead of turducken, I would rather do the churpumple, which is a cherry pie, a pumpkin pie, and an apple pie. But you don't have to put anything inside each other. You just squish it all together.
Samay should do that at the ice cream shop that he has.
God, he should. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, he needs to do like whatever you just called that thing.
The churpumple.
Yeah, he needs to do the chur thingy and mix all those ice cream cakes together.
Yeah.
That would be good.
That is a good idea.
Just to be clear, everybody that's watching this should back us on the fact that was our idea.
Yes.
Steph and I deserve at least 15% royalties moving forward on that.
Like a naming, like asterisk or something like that.
I mean, something. We deserve something.
I know. All right, tell us about, so you're sold out. GK at Home is sold out for your kits and stuff. And tell us what else is going on over there.
So the holiday stuff is sold out. We are doing virtual demos that are GK at Home, and the next one is on December 18th, which is a Friday night. We're going to cook a classic cook of them. Yeah. So red wine braised chicken. The last one I did, I made fresh cavatelli. My 8-year-old son, Julius, joined me, and he was doing the floss dance in the middle of rolling cavatelli. So it was probably the most remarkable 1 hour of entertainment on anywhere. Oh so that made my 11-year-old Emil jealous. So he'll probably join me on the next one.
Oh my God.
He's a good cook. So it'll be a lot of fun. And the best part about that is that you can buy the kits from us here at Spoon. You can add a bottle of wine. You come pick it up the day before, and in 1 hour we all have dinner together.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. This is like this would be like if you were cooking live and we're interacting, so people get to ask you questions and stuff while they're cooking.
Yep. That's great. So they can ask me questions as they're going along. They can tell me to slow down, which I usually don't do, and do all of that good stuff. And then we're going to launch on December 1st a full series of 6 classes that'll happen in the first quarter of 2021, which is a great Christmas gift.
It is a great Christmas gift. I think that's what I also think that people could instead of having, because you can't have dinner parties, if you and like 2 other couples get kits and then sign in to do this thing, that's just kind of your own way of doing something fun like that.
Absolutely.
How's Belcourt at Cooks going?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's nice to have the bakery across the street from Spoon. I can go over there and, take a coffee and a meeting in the bakery, and I can actually stand at the pass at Spoon and Stable and look across and see the team over there in the windows, sheeting out the viennoiserie and the croissants and everything. So it's great. It was as devastating as it was to close Belcourt, and as hurtful as it was to have to do it. It is what it is, and I'm over that portion of it now. but I'm happy to have the life that it has become. And especially with the new closure mandates, I'm even more happy where it is.
Yeah, that's great.
So, yeah.
I love it. Well, I personally, of course, miss the chocolate croissant being within like a 2-minute drive from my house. But I'm gonna get over that.
I honestly don't think you will, because like everybody says this to me every night. They're like, I'll get over it. I'm like, I've talked to you 15 times. You're still not over it.
You're right. I'm not. I'll just pretend to. I'll just keep raking it over the coals in my own mind. Actually, it probably saved me at least one pant size. So that's fine.
You're welcome.
I know. Okay, here's the biggest question that people want to know when they keep asking it is, can they get Dorothy's pot roast this weekend? Is it anytime soon? What's the deal with that?
So the pot roast is on, you can get it tonight, you get it tomorrow night. So you can order it as takeout from the restaurant right now. We're gonna close Spoon. We'll close both Spoon and Demi per the orders tomorrow night after service.
Yep.
Spoon will likely come back and do some iteration of takeout, but I will tease by saying we are not coming back to do Spoon and Stable takeout. We are coming back to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. I got the go ahead from my big guy to say I can do it, so that's cool. And we're just gonna have fun with it and do what we can do. Demi will just go on pause.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think everybody, if we can have fun and do fun things and be creative in this time, all for it. I swear to God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add before we cut you loose?
No, thanks for having me. I love Open Arms, but 3 years ago, Spoon and Stable did a full Thanksgiving volunteer there. So the whole team went over to Open Arms and we cooked, we packaged, we delivered. My kids came with me. We delivered Thanksgiving meals to a bunch of people all on Thanksgiving morning. It was incredible. I think it's really important. As when I was younger, I did a lot of volunteer work. My mom always had me do a lot of volunteer work, and it's always very, very powerful to remember what it means to smile, say thank you, say please, and more than anything else, be grateful. And I think if anything, we've all learned what that is all about this year. So many props to everybody and all the chefs and yourself and everyone who's on this to make this happen. So thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Hopefully we can get everybody back on. Maybe we can do like a little quick toast or something. If all the other chefs come back on just for a few seconds. Let's do that.
What if they all left? Oh,
Are they all gone? That's okay. It's okay.
Anne's there.
Anne's there.
Jamie's there. Anne's there too. Justin's coming back. Justin lost his hat. What happened, Justin?
Oh, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I said I actually took all of my clothes off and then realized I would probably have to come back on. So I threw this sweater back on, but I don't have any pants on.
So you have no pants on.
I have no pants.
I had pants on this whole time anyway.
I know, but I'm just sharing. Maybe oversharing.
All right, I want to raise a glass to you guys. I know that this is a really tough day and it's been a really rough week. And I just want to say thank you from like the very, very bottom of my heart for you guys showing up and doing this and sharing of yourselves and for helping to create, the whole restaurant scene and fighting for each other and fighting for your workers and fighting for the eaters. Honestly, we're more than blessed in this town. And I really, really hope that we can all support you guys, as you guys obviously are so integral in supporting the nonprofits and the charity organizations that are really, really working to help everybody in this town. And so I just know that all of us are going to reach out and do whatever we can to help you. So cheers to that. I'm grateful for all of you guys. I'm so thankful that my food family is so big is what and I wish I could give you guys all whiskey, but I can't. So
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Everybody, thank you.
Good Thanksgiving.
See you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Still on?